Today we're going to pull off this T1-11 and put some new T1-11 on. This is OSB posing as T1-11. I've never seen anything like this. If you guys have, I've been doing construction for a lot of years. If you guys ever seen anything like this, post something down in the comments. We're also going to be putting some soffit over here and a fascia board. Hi everybody, I'm Jim Dirtorf and this is Detroit DIY. Let's get this stuff ripped off. First thing I need to do is get this off of here. Now that I've got that done, we could go ahead and get this T1-11 off. However, this portion of T1-11 is buried under this board, so I'm going to have to cut it here. I don't want to try and pull this board off because the drip edge is probably nailed to it. In fact, I'm sure it is. Some of the roofing might have nails in it, so I'm just going to cut it. Let's get this stuff off. That loosened it up a little bit. I'm going to go in there with this pry bar and pull some of that loose. There it is. Hey, there's my ice fishing stuff. I'm going to get the rest of this off. We'll come back and take a look. I'll show you how I'm going to cut that loose. I've got my circular saw set at 2 1/8 inches, which should be enough just to cut through that T1-11 up there by riding alongside that 2x4. I'm going to get this cut. Hopefully you've got a good view. If not, I'll record some more of it. Now I'm going to cut as much as I can on this side, and then I'll finish up with the oscillating multi-tool. Now I'm going to cut the last little bit using the multi-tool. Now that I've got this cut loose, I'm ready to start popping it off. I'm hopeful that I can take it off without breaking it. I've got some weather off in the distance. I hear some thunder and some lightning. Pretty sure it's moving away from me. A little cell moved by earlier. This wasn't supposed to happen until midnight, but I do have a tarp and some staples I can put over this if I have to. I expected it to be longer than that. I'm going to keep going and pull the rest of this off. Got a little rain moving in. It's not much currently, but you never know. Now that I've cut that out, the board behind here was the nailer. I need to put in some new nailers so that when I put my siding back on, I have something to nail it to. I just took the old piece of siding that I took off. I managed to get them off without breaking them and replicated the angle. Some 2.5-inch decking to hold this in place. gonna die. I'm gonna get another one cut from there, get that in, then we'll be ready for some siding. The rain has moved through. It didn't do much more than sprinkle. Here's my next issue. There is nothing for me to land on at 4 feet. It's right on the edge of this 2x4. They put these double 2x4s in here, but it just doesn't make sense. If we come this way 4 feet, it's the exact same thing. It's right on the edge. They put these spacers in here to have a little something to nail to. I'm going to pop these off and put a full 2x4 in their place. I knew this coming in because I could see that the gap wasn't tight. You could tell that there was nothing supporting it from the back. I'm going to go ahead and get these other two off and get this board cut. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider doing so. I was looking through my analytics and about 96% of the views that I get on my channel are not from subscribers. It's free. Just smash that button. I've got this 2x4 cut. I just need to tap it in place and get it secured. Right. I'm using 2.5-inch construction screws to fasten this in place. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these screws in. We'll be ready to go. I'm ready to cut my first piece of T1-11. Before you cut it, you want to make sure that you're cutting the right side. In my instance, I want the factory edge to be at the top. And the reason that that matters is because the next piece of T1-11 needs to overlap this one slightly right here. So you want to make sure that that edge is towards the middle. I'm going to get this cut off. Before we carry our piece over, we need to mark on the face of it the studs. Take a measurement from where it's going to fall. I have 20.5 and 44 3/4. I'm going to get that marked on there, and then we'll get this in place. I've also cut it to where it's going to sit on these two 2x4s I have sitting down here, and it should land right here. I'm going to be using wood and hardboard siding nails. They are a spiral nail and they will hold very tight. I want to get me a couple of marks from over here where 4 feet is. I should have done this before I carried it over. It's okay. I'm going to be trimming the corners with some 1x3s, so it doesn't matter if I'm off by a little bit, but I don't want to be off by a lot. I'm going to go ahead and get a nail up at the top, and then we'll check it for plumb. Probably 3/4 of an inch out of plumb. I'm going to figure out what's going on with that and go from there. The problem was I was sitting a little too high here. I've shifted this board out. I've kind of shifted it around, and I am in good shape. I'm going to get another nail started right down here just to hold it in place and then get it nailed. Alright, we'll finish putting this one home. I'm going to finish nailing it, and we'll come back when we put this one on. I don't know about you guys, but I'm wiped out. I got to get this pushed into place and get a nail in it. It's a little bit low on this side over here. Significantly low. Missing by a little bit. Okay, it went in nice and snug, and I'm going to get some nails in this, and then we're going to cut that. The weatherman got it kind of right this time. The rain got here about midnight. It is currently noon. It just quit raining. I've only got a couple hours before I have to leave, so I'm not going to get too carried away with what I'm going to do. They've left these rafter tails too long, so I'm going to get them cut off so that I can get my fascia board on there. I cannot get my soffit in until I get this T1-11 off, or this OSB posing as T1-11. And because I just ran out of time, I ran out of energy, I put the old material back up here in the top just to close it in for the rain. So that will have to be next time also. I just don't have the time today to get that cut and get it put in. So that'll be next time. Right now, let's get these rafter tails cut. I'm going to use my reciprocating saw, and then I'm going to finish it off with my oscillating saw. I wanted this shorter blade for better control, but it's not getting all the way through the two pieces, so I'm going to have to switch out for a longer blade. That's as far as I can cut it with the reciprocating saw. Now I'm going to switch over to the oscillator. Now that that's finished, I'm just going to get the rest of them cut. The fascia board is cut to length. That's all I'm going to have time for this time. I just want to say, if you're a DIYer, if you're just getting into this, watching these videos, you can see that everything does not go as planned. There's struggles and there's issues. Just imagine what it was like before YouTube, when you had to figure these things out on your own and you couldn't watch someone do it or someone give you the tutorials that you need to get it done. YouTube's a phenomenal platform to help beginning DIYers, to help anyone figure out how to do the things they need to do. I'm glad I can be here to help. Unfortunately today, our job was rain shortened. We didn't get everything completed that I wanted to, but there's always next time. We'll get that done. A few weeks ago, I recorded a fishing video out here on the lake. I'm going to put that right up here next to me. If you enjoyed yourself, click on one of those two videos. If you'd like to see some of the beautiful fish in the lake, it's right here. Always remember to respect the power of your power tools.